Hello everyone, I am Dodivic V. Arma, a physical therapy intern from RTRMF, and today I will be talking about crocodile tears, which is one of the clinical manifestations of Bell's palsy. But before that, please allow me to give you a short idea about Bell's palsy and how it could lead to the development of crocodile tears. Let's get started. Bell's palsy is an acute lower motor neuron lesion associated with unilateral peripheral facial weakness or paralysis due to the dysfunction of the facial nerve within the facial canal. It is also known as facial nerve palsy, idiopathic facial palsy, facial paralysis, refrigerator palsy secondary to cold, and prosopoplegia. It is acute because it occurs suddenly and gets worse over 48 hours, and recovery usually starts after 2 weeks or before 6 months from the onset of symptoms. It is a lower motor neuron lesion because a lesion occurs anywhere at or below the facial motor nucleus along the cranial nerve 7 and thus affecting the ipsilateral side of the face, involving both upper and lower muscles of facial expression. The cranial nerve 7, which is the affected nerve in Bell's palsy, carries motor, sensory, and parasympathetic fibers. The motor fibers supply the muscles of facial expression, stapedius muscle, posterior belly of the digastric, and the stylohyoid muscle. The sensory fibers receive taste sensation from anterior 2/3 of the tongue, while the parasympathetic fibers go into the ganglion that supply the glands of the oral cavity and the lacrimal gland, which is the problem that underlies crocodile tears. Crocodile tears is the shedding of tears while eating or drinking in patients recovering from Bell's palsy. It is also referred to as gustatory lacrimation. It happens because in the recovery period following facial nerve injury, the regenerating salivary nerve fibers are misdirected to ultimately innervate the lacrimal gland instead of the submandibular gland. These regenerating nerves are directed towards the lacrimal gland via the greater superficial petrosal nerve. The result is that any stimulation such as smell or taste of the food, instead of causing salivation, excites the lacrimal gland to produce ipsilateral tearing. And that explains why there is crocodile tears. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope that you've learned something from me today. See you again on my next video. Bye!